Hey, what's happening, everybody? L.A. Williams, Vice President with Dealer Synergy and the Blind Phone Master, and of course, one of the creators of the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast. Man, I'm telling y'all, I'm pumped up, fired up, super excited. We are well into season 10. Hope y'all liking the new format, man. We got, a bunch of stuff that's coming down the pike, but I got Mr. Sean V. Bradley up in the building. What's going on, Sean?
LA, how do you know this is really me and I'm not AI?
It might be. You never really know, man. I don't know if you. But listen, I've been talking about this since I think like season maybe 8 or maybe even 7 when I first did an AI version of you doing one of the commercials. Like it was crazy, and people was
all right,
like,
we need a code word, LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to ask a question that only me and you know. That way, you could turn around if you hear my voice. I saw this on the news that AI scams are going crazy. So I don't want you to turn around and find out. Like all of a sudden, you answer your phone and it's Sean Bradley asking you for money or something like that. You need to ask me a secret question or code word. So should we come up with something? What do you think?
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to come up with something. We gotta do something because this AI stuff is crazy. They got this one with Saquon Barkley from the Eagles. Shout out to the Eagles. Talking about
Eagles, go Birds.
Like he one of the greatest players, and he I came in here. Like he told myself I came in here and changed everything around. Obviously, it's stuff that the real Saquon would never say, but it's hilarious.
Anyone ever seen a single player fix a whole ass team? I mean, bro, not only am I a goddamn cheat code, but apparently I'm football's version of Mary Poppins. I nearly break that egotistical bum Eric Dickerson's rushing record, but I was Mr. Dependable yet again today.
Then they got one from Dak Prescott from the Cowboys, boo, right? Which
boo.
It actually sounds so realistic. It's crazy.
That was sucks.
No, man, but it's definitely wild what they can do with AI. And what I find crazy is when I try to do it, there's all these, you have to confirm that you're the voice and all of this whole extra stuff. So I don't know how they're figuring it out, but they definitely figuring it out.
Well, the reason why I bring it up is because NADA is right around the corner, and one of the hottest things that everybody's DMing me about is this artificial intelligence, right? The AI, and it seems like there's so many different applications for AI, and what I want to be able to discuss on the show today is, okay, for the people that are going to NADA, what should they be able to expect about New Orleans, about the show, and then about the exhibitors, and then obviously AI is a huge subject, so we want to pretty much kind of give some direction. So do we have anybody on the show today that might be able to help us with that, LA?
Oh, absolutely. We do. You know what I'm saying? So listen, the new format is not just myself and Tiana and Sean. We got some folks that's going to be on here, and we got a young lady that's going to be with us, and she represents one of our coolest new friends in the business, right? She represents Podium. I'm telling y'all, like, you want to be able to spend some time with her. I'm going to bring her on in just a couple of moments. We always got to talk about how we got to pay some bills, but I'm going to bring Misty to the microphone in just a bit, and because I just want you to see how cool she is just to kind of hang out. We were talking a little bit before the recording, and she told me how it's her first time at NADA. And, I don't know if she said it's her first time in Nolan's, but she's definitely excited. And so I want y'all to hear from her. She's going to be a breath of fresh air after listening to us two boys. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I got to tell you right now, we're also going to bring in T Got Your Keys, because she's got your plan. T Got Your Plan. And we want to talk about like the sessions, who's speaking, what topics. We want to talk about the VIP parties. The NADA is about, not just networking and education. It is about experiencing the industry at the highest level. So I am honestly really excited about today's show, LA.
Yep, Tiana got your planner. I know I'm silly.
This episode is brought to you by Podium. Here's a question. How much would your business change if you had one more employee who worked 24/7 to turn every lead, including the ones that come in after hours, into test drives, sales, and more money for your dealership? Meet Jerry, Podium's new AI BDC. Jerry is a lead conversion powerhouse designed to respond instantly to every incoming lead to answer questions accurately, keep leads warm, and schedule test drives, all without direct human supervision. And the best part? With a seamless handoff to staff on the sales floor, customers will never know they were interacting with an AI to begin with. See how Podium's AI BDC can help you sell more cars by visiting podium.com/MCS. That's podium.com/MCS, or click on the link in the show notes below. Introducing Dealer Synergy's brand new 55,000 square foot outsourced BDC. Over 2,000 highly skilled agents are not just making and taking calls, they're transforming customer engagements. Our agents are specially trained by Dealer Synergy, a name trusted in automotive sales training for over 20 years. With access to decades of proven methods, they're equipped with the skills and confidence to handle every customer interaction. Combining Dealer Synergy's advanced training with the cost efficiency of a Belize-based team, our BDC helps you grow your business and maximize every opportunity. The native language in Belize is English, so no customer will be affected by agitating language barriers. Through Dealer Synergy's industry-leading training, these agents are primed to deliver results that boost your dealership's bottom line. Our goal: keep your showroom full, your customers engaged, and your reputation shining. Dealer Synergy's BDC is your partner in elevating customer satisfaction and bringing in a steady stream of ready-to-buy visitors. Contact Dealer Synergy to get more information to sign up today.
All right, we had to pay them bills. Let's get down to business. LA, NADA is right around the corner, and dealers are reaching out to us left and right saying, hey, who should I go see? What should be the focus? So in my professional opinion, I think this is a unique strategy for every individual dealership. Dr. Covey says, begin with the end result in mind. That's the second habit. I would say, okay, what am I looking to get out of NADA? Okay, what problems can I solve? Mm-hmm. What resources can I find? What connections can I find to help me achieve goals, conquest, take over the world, legally and ethically speaking, etc.? So let's start. In my opinion, some of the biggest challenges have been the same challenges we've always had, and that's going to be HR and attrition. Mm-hmm. When the average dealership is understaffed and underskilled and undertrained, so what are the solutions? Well, obviously, outsource BDC. I don't know if we know somebody that can help you with that. So you just outsource. But then technology, and this is why artificial intelligence, I think, is really, really good. Because again, if you don't have enough people or the right people, then you could use AI to supplement. Okay, AI doesn't want overtime or need overtime. AI is not going to turn around and complain and contact HR for you or call unemployment. Right. HR ain't going to be late. HR ain't going to turn around and make excuses like, oh, I'm sick. I can't come into work today. You know what I mean? AI can really help you with having coverage. Whether it's at night, it's after hours, it's on holidays, it's etc. So LA, what other, value do you think that AI could possibly bring? Or do you think we should ask Miss Misty, because she's pretty good at it?
Yeah, you know what? Let's defer to the expert. Misty, can you talk to him a little bit about how AI, some of the different things, because some of the stuff I was going to mention was wording and things like that, how sometimes, listen, I done talked to some trainees where I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't have wrote that if I were you, right? So can you talk to us a little bit about some of the assistance that AI can give to us as agents?
Yeah, well, and I think you both hit the nail on the head there, especially with that word LA, assistance, right? AI is not going to come in and replace end-to-end selling cars. What it is going to do is lighten the load for that front office, for that team, to remove, those manual tasks, those things that they're having to do every day, and lighten the load and focus on things that are able to bring in, ROI, or able to bring in revenue into the dealership. And so not only, to Sean's point, can AI come in and never have a bad day, never, have to go from hearing a no to immediately trying to get a yes and having the feelings surrounded with that, but can come in and really supplement that entire front office team and be able to make an experience that not only fills the gaps when you're having employment issues, but we've also heard from some of our dealers that it's helped keep retention of their staff as well, because they're feeling better and not feeling more overworked. They're not feeling like they have to work after hours, because there's something there to help all of those leads that are coming in at any time.
Wow. Yeah, I never really thought about that, though, but you just kind of broke it down. One of the things that we really promote is, that work-life balance, or sometimes, as I say, like life-work balance, right? Because life is supposed to come first, right? So, but, I never really thought about the fact that AI can help to, bring some of that into our being sometimes, you know what I mean? Because you're absolutely right. Sometimes we're overworked, underpaid, and all that kind of stuff. And if AI can assist us with that, man, that's bringing a whole different level of relaxation, and you can kind of roll your shoulders back a little bit, right, and not have to worry about being so stressed. So I love that, Missy. What do you think about that, Sean? Is that good stuff?
I think it's amazing, but I want to also touch on two other very, very critical aspects of this. Okay, for whatever crazy reason, a lot of dealers down south and the Midwest, they close their dealerships at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. The challenge in this, everybody, is that's during prime time. Prime time to connect on the phones is between 6 and 8 p.m. If I'm going to Vegas and I'm gambling and somebody's like, psst, you have an 80% shot if you bet on black. Why am I going to bet on red for? I'm not a dope. If I'm telling you that you're going to have the most amount of engagements and conversions between 6 and 8 p.m., but yet you are choosing to close at 5 or 6 or 7 for whatever, morale reasons, HR reasons, or whatever reasons you want, AI could be that omnipresent. Oh, I love that word, right? It's delicious. Got all those syllables. AI is omnipresent. It is everywhere at all times when you can't or don't want to be there. The other thing that I'm going to say, LA, and I want to get Tiana, because Tiana was on the front lines, grinding it out, doing bell to bells. You know what sucks is when you call 120, 130 outbound calls to get 3 or 4 people. Yo, all my car people, where you at?
Stressful.
Okay, I don't care if you're on the lot, you're in the bathroom, you're in the
Throw
car,
your hands
whatever.
up.
You throw your hands in the air, wave them like it don't care. No, I'm only kidding. What I'm saying is this: it doesn't matter if you're a car person. The next words out of my mouth are gonna hit hard in your solar plexus, right? The hardest part of internet sales. All right, lean in, listen to me, is just getting contact with the prospect. JD Power says that the average connection, it takes roughly 9 to 11 attempts. That means you at the dealership have to reach out 9, 10, 11 times before the first response. Who the hell's got time for that? I don't got time for that. I need instant gratification. I need to make my mortgage right now. So if you want to cut down that time and increase engagement, the absolute best way. I don't know anything better than AI, because AI is, again, omnipresent. It could be working in real time with multiple people at the same amount of time. It's like having an army
Yeah.
of BDC reps. So T, how awesome would that have been when you were on the front line selling cars, having an AI assistant or AI backup?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it would have been 100% more powerful. And I always hear like salespeople say, well, I don't want to work on my day off and I don't want to do this and that. Perfect. That's exactly where the AI comes in. So I think it would have been an amazing tool for me to utilize. And I'm so happy that now as an industry, we're embracing it more. And I think it's just going to continue to grow.
Misty, can you close on that? Like, can you elaborate on that before we go to the next segment here and just kind of what I was saying about the omnipresence, having, AI, having Jerry working on hundreds or even thousands of prospects, leads, and prior customers simultaneously. That's the mind-blowing aspect of it.
It absolutely is, and there's two specific reasons why that can really take your dealership to the next level. One is the opposite of what you're talking about, Sean. Yes, it takes 9 to 12 touch points to get somebody to respond, but also when they're ready to buy a car, they want an immediate answer, right? 82% of consumers are expecting an immediate response when they have a question. So if that question's coming in at 9 p.m., which it often is when people are looking for cars while they're laying in bed and thinking about those things and your team's not working, if you're not ready to go to answer that question, they've already moved on to the dealership down the street that maybe does have, an offshore BDC or AI that's available there to answer that question. So that's a huge part of it, is that speed to lead is, especially, you guys were talking about on the top of the call, it's hard right now. 2024 was really hard. So any lead that you all have coming in needs to be answered immediately and needs to be nurtured, in a way that is going to keep them going down to purchasing a car from your dealership. And the other point you really hit on it is that omnipresent, that ability to be available 24/7. Dealerships are closed on Sundays. Like you said, they close at 5 p.m. I don't know about you, but I'm working. I don't have time to buy a car from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I am buying a car later at night. And so the ability to backfill and, to Tiana's point, to make sure people aren't having, your dealership employees aren't having to be online when they're not supposed to be working is really a game changer. And we've seen it with, Jerry and Podium customers are seeing a 30% increase in after-hour test drives being scheduled, and a big conversion in those, because it's keeping, those leads that are coming in warm and keeping them engaged with your dealership, which is really just critical, especially right now, and doing more with the leads that you have, and making them, be bigger and have more opportunities. So I think that's really critical.
Hey, wait a minute. I just got a DM from somebody that's going to be at NADA later this week, and I'm interested in AI. Who should I be looking at, or what type of companies should I be looking at? So obviously, selfishly, Podium. Hey, LA, T, Podium. Now, all kidding aside, no. But again, let's just answer this the right way, though. Podium. And I'm just kidding. Let's just basically reverse engineer this. And so I want to do this like in a cipher. I want us to all go through and say, I'll go first, a couple of things. If you were in the market for artificial intelligence software, I would say first you need to narrow it down. That's such a broad thing. You could use AI for training. You could use AI for, following up with leads. You could use AI for data mining, equity mining. You could use, there's so many different purposes. So I would say first you need to narrow down what purpose you're trying to use the AI technology or supplement. Then from there, the next thing I would say is do research in all the companies at NADA. Who are they? Because that's great if they're a new startup, but I don't know, because I don't know if you ever get the first version of everything. The first version of the iPhone, the first version of an iPad, the first version of, Zoom wasn't so good, because they didn't work the kinks out yet. So I would look for a company that's been in business for years. I would look for a company that's got a lot of clients. Like we were joking by saying Podium, but not really, because I know for a fact they have over 110,000 clients.
Yeah.
Wrap your mind around that. 110,000 businesses, over 7,000 car dealerships, tens of thousands of individual people are utilizing and leveraging and maximizing the AI technology. I don't know about you. I'm not the sharpest, pencil in the box, but look like a duck, quack like a duck, quack, quack, it's a duck. And
That's
if
good.
a company like that exists, I'm going. But now, LA, what's your opinion? If somebody's looking for AI information, what type of companies should they be looking at NADA this week?
One of the things that I like that you want to really focus on is not just someone who's been in business for some time. I definitely think that's a big part of it, but who can answer your leads as quickly as possible. I think sometimes, just because you have AI doesn't mean that it's going to be fast, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to be efficient. It doesn't mean that it's good, right? So all AI is not created equal. Let's make sure we understand that. I think that speed is one of the most important things. And so whenever you're talking to, you're going around and you're talking to the different reps and things like that, one of the questions that you should be asking them is how quickly will someone respond? And then I want you to actually test it out, right? Because people say all kind of stuff. They be like, oh, it'll respond within 2 minutes. It'll respond within a minute. Okay, well, let's test it out then. Let's see if it's telling the truth, right? And then let's see if even the content that it responds with is of value, right? Is it of true value, or is it like a hold on, I'll get back to you, right? That's not really exactly what I'm looking for somebody to respond to me. You need, like you get that little message that pops up on the screen that says, almost like the dots that Tiana sometimes when she and I are texting, she's like, I see the little dots, right? That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for real, accurate, quality responses. And so to me, that would be one of the number one things I'm looking for is speed and how quality the responses are. That's top on my list.
Misty, what's your opinion?
I agree absolutely with quality of responses, and I want to add something that also that quality is human-like, right? You don't want people to immediately know that it is AI responding that. Now, you're not trying to trick them. You're not trying to, get one over on them, but what you want them to feel like they are getting a human-like experience. And so for customer-facing AI, you want to make sure that it is something that understands empathy, that understands, the importance of, taking that conversation and making it, provide natural. And so a big part of that, and this gets a little bit technical, but but is also asking what models they use, what AI programs are they working with. At Podium, we're really proud to be model agnostic. What that means is we only use what's the best model out there. And for us right now, that's our partnership with OpenAI, which we have had for a very long time. And so for every question that comes in to Jerry, our AI assistant, we're sending back 50 plus phone calls to OpenAI. And what that means is that we're using cutting edge natural language processing, which to simulate conversations to feel personalized and authentic, which means it's far removed from the robotic responses of chatbots, which is the number one, thing I hear when people are pushing back against the AIs. They're like, well, the responses are terrible. It's just a chatbot. No, you want to be making sure you're using a vendor that is working with the best AI technology out there to provide that human-like interaction. And then the second thing I would say, working with a vendor that really takes this on as a partnership and asking questions about what does the onboarding look like of this product? Way too many dealers are getting pushed into buying technology that then they buy and then the vendor just disappears and they don't know how to integrate it into their DMS or their CRM. Exactly. And so pushing them to explain what does the onboarding process look like? What is ongoing support? Because AI requires training. It's just like any other employee, especially if it has that customer facing. It takes time. So choose a vendor that's committed to your success and for a long-term partnership that's going to offer training and expertise to ensure that you have that long-term value.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think the support and customer service definitely needs to be also looked at, especially with dealing with, any company, but especially with AI, right? Is, will they help you? Will they train you? And will they support you? Because it's amazing that you're going to have this tool and I can use it, but what exactly does it look like when it's implemented into the dealership? What does exactly the training look like? How does my team handle it? So I think that would be a huge factor, right? Because it doesn't even matter if the product is amazing. If your team doesn't know how to use it, it's kind of pointless anyway. So I think that should definitely be the top of the list there.
I feel like I want another one. What about easy to use, right? Because sometimes something can be so great, but it doesn't have an ease of use to it. But they do these usability exercises, right? Where it's like, okay, in the real world, if I'm using this product, will it be fast and efficient? Will I actually be able to use it? Or is it going to give me challenges? Do I have to do way too much to get it to do what I need it to do? I think that's a big deal right there. How usable is the product? Make sure you check it on that one.
It should take things off your plate.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be adding things onto anybody's plate.
That's
so
it.
I absolutely agree with that, LA.
It's good stuff. It's so wild because you guys know I just completed my book, So What I Can't, right? And so I'm, working with publishers right now. And initially I was looking for, okay, who am I going to work with? Who am I going to allow to represent me? And so I sent some messages to not a bunch of different publishers, but just ones that I wanted to work with. And the funny part was that one of them, who I was really thinking about working with, they just took too long to respond, right? And so by the time they responded, I said, "Oh, you're a little late, brother. I already got something going." So that's definitely a big reason why we got to make sure we're fast and efficient and getting some of this stuff taken care of. But anyway, I'm super excited. Again, NADA coming up and all the different AI technology that's going to be available to us. And Sean, if you can just talk a little bit about how AI is. Listen, y'all thought AI took over in 2024. Just imagine what's getting ready to happen in 2025. I think it's going to be crazy.
So the way that I equate this to is a couple things. One is hip hop music. When hip hop came out, everybody said this ain't gonna last.
Yeah.
This is trash. This is ridiculous. Now look at it. Hip hop is a multi-billion-dollar annually revenue generating behemoth.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got into the automotive industry in 1999, let me just tell you, everybody was talking about get people's email addresses. And let's follow people on the internet. And I swear to God, LA knows this story. I've had dealer principals years ago, like decades ago, say, the internet's the devil. And we joke around. Like a DP said, the internet's the devil. And look at where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was there in the late 90s selling cars when this internet thing popped off and everybody thought, oh, this is just a fad. It's not going to last. Now the internet is the new showroom. Then we had fast forward, the internet 2.0 was mobile. Everything was mobile first and everything is, so that was the next iteration. Then we almost had a next evolution with the metaverse.
Yeah.
Zuck almost had it, but he failed. You know what I mean? Even the Zuck, made a mess. And what I would say is the next evolution in humankind, this is not just our industry. This is the next evolution to mankind and to human existence, is embracing and leveraging artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
If you think about this for a second, what AI is going to be doing for for diseases, for medicine, for biology, having artificial intelligence look at DNA structures and splicing sequences and things like that. I mean, looking at interstellar planetary travel. I mean, the United States has the Space Force. Like, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's pay attention to what's going around the world.
Yeah.
Like, Elon Musk is trying to go to Mars. He literally shot a Tesla into outer space. We are living in this world right now. And what we are on is the cusp of not just the next evolution, but I think AI in the next 5 years is going to catapult us to a next stratosphere in everything, communications, in medical and medicine. So why not embrace it now? Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, LA, wouldn't you like to get a time machine to take your blind ass back when the guy came out, was like, Bitcoin, I got an idea. Invest $5 in Bitcoin, right? Don't you wish you put that $5
Man.
instead of like a cheesesteak, you turn around and invest in $5 in Bitcoin like all those years ago? You'd be a
Exactly.
Bitcoin millionaire right now. Or Misty, I don't know if you heard the story. Somebody actually said to LA Williams, LA, there's this big stock coming out called Starbucks, and he's like, I don't drink coffee. I'm only kidding. I'm only
happened to me.
But there's people out there that passed on Starbucks, they passed on Apple, they passed on all this other stuff. I am telling you right now, public service announcement, do not pass on AI, because AI will make your life easier.
Yeah.
It will make your life productive. It will also give you an unfair competitive advantage. I mean, if we have more time in the show, I could go at one time at Bandcamp. There's so many different freaking things. I'm just telling you right now, omnipresence or being like, waiting for things to happen doesn't make sense. Now, what I'd like to transition though is, because I think people get it, AI, artificial intelligence is great. But let's talk about how we are going to crush NADA. So first, Dealer Synergy's got a beautiful 10 by 30 booth that we're going to, be exhibiting at 4008. LA, you're speaking, and then Tiana speaking. So can you talk, LA, what your subject is about speaking? When is it? Then Tiana, when are you speaking, what it's about? And then I want to go to Misty. I want to hear what Podium's doing with their booth and who's speaking from there. But let's go in order. LA, Tiana, and then Misty.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm going to be talking about is emotional intelligence. I think, as I said before, and I talked about it on the past podcast, it's, just the art of listening, right? I think so many times dealing with customers, dealing with our staff, if we're not really listening, then we're going to miss a huge chunk of what's being said. And I know people think that they're listening, but you might be listening with your ears, but sometimes you got to listen with your emotions. You got to listen with your heart, right? Because if we learn to open up, and I know sometimes, our industry is known for being hard and rah, and, I'm tough and all this different kind of stuff, but it doesn't make you any less tough just because you're emotionally intelligent. As a matter of fact, I believe it raises your level of toughness because you can now have the tough conversations and actually get the results that you want versus pissing somebody off and then losing that person that's been training over the last couple of weeks or months or years, right? And having to start over again. Like, if you really want to take your dealership to the next level, try it. Just give it a shot. Right, taking your dealership's emotional intelligence to a whole nother level. I got some modules that I'm going to share with y'all of dealerships where the emotional intelligence was not so high, and it's hilarious. We're gonna have a good time about that. So, and then the cool thing is, I'm not speaking. This topic isn't being covered until Saturday, right? So, all the folks that's like, oh, I gotta be at my dealership on Thursday and Friday. Okay, I get it, right? Just make sure your behind is there by Saturday morning, right? Maybe Friday night, but be there by Saturday morning because I'm gonna have a conversation that is not going to be easily forgotten. I'm telling you, it's gonna be phenomenal. So T, talk a little bit about yours, because I know your session, you're on a panel, is that right?
Exactly. So I'm actually going to be a part of the NADA Women Driving Auto Retail.
Woo!
It's actually kicking off NADA. It's right before right before the show officially starts. So us ladies are definitely starting it off on the right foot. And it's actually going to be on the 23rd. So it's going
As
to
you
kind of be
should.
like an all-day thing, right? All of us amazing women in automotive are going to be there networking, talking, and kind of it's kind of like a little secret club, not to, give too much away, but us girls, we like to conspire over here. We like to come up with AI plans for,
Mm,
how we can dominate y'all. So
I love it.
it's just really cool, especially how to get all together. So it's going to be like 8:30 to 11:30. So like I said, it's going to be like a huge chunk, and it's going to be networking, connecting. Then I'm going to be on a panel, and we're going to be talking about breaking barriers and building success. And I think AI is going to be a huge part of what I'm going to mention because, regardless of you're a man or a woman, if you're in this industry and you're selling and you're in a dealership, you need an AI platform because as exactly what you guys were saying, it's not like AI in 2024. AI in 2025 is officially here, and it's been perfected. It's been tested. So that's why I'm excited to bring that to the stage and kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great, T. And then, and so all that permission I gave y'all to show up late, you can just erase all that. Like, I lied, okay? Get your behind there early. Make sure you're there. Because I'm telling you, here's the deal. The thing that Tiana brings to the table, you just said networking, right? And I'm just going to be real. There are a lot of, the car salesmen and women, let's just say, right, who have a lot of trouble with that. Like, they really don't have that grace and connection the way that they would like to have. What is actually going to give them the success that they're looking for. You got to get connected with people. We always hear, oh, well, this is not the car business. We're in the people business. You've heard that before. Well, Tiana is a specialist and her entire team, like the folks that's going to be talking, she has just said networking. She just said AI. So you don't want to miss that. Do whatever you got to do to get there, get yourself together and listen in on that conversation because I promise you it's going to change your life. So now Misty.
I got to tell you, I just changed my flight so that I could be there earlier this week. I was like, nope, I'm not going to make it. I've got to change my flight.
That's what I'm
So
talking
I'm
about,
going to be
Misty.
there. I'm beyond excited. I think it's going to be incredible, and you don't want to miss
Yeah,
it.
Tell us what Podium is going to be doing. You guys have a lot going on, right? So break it down.
We do. NADA is a big deal for us, and NADA is actually where we launched Jerry, our AI BDC, last year.
Woo.
And so, big shoes to fill. We went big last year, and somehow we're even going bigger this year. So we have 2 booths on the floor to make sure there's lots of space for people to come and meet Jerry and come experience also all of the Podium products. So we will be at booth 2500. That's our big one.
Woo.
It is Back to the Future themed. I'm not going to give away any of the fun, but if you are a fan of Back to the Future and you're a fan of cars, you might want to stop by because there's going to be some exciting things happening there. And then we also will have another booth, 7531, that will be centered around AI and Jerry, and where you can come talk to Jerry yourself. Outside of that, there's a lot of really exciting things going on. We're really proud to have 3 speaking sessions centered throughout the week. The one that I'm the most excited about and I think really differentiates Podium from some of the other sessions going on. And let me tell you, just a little sidebar here. I was looking at the agenda, trying to make my plan, and the amount of AI sessions that are just throughout, that it's just AI. And it's some of the titles of them are like using AI effectively in your dealership, mastering the power of AI. And it's a 30-minute session. I don't know what that means. I don't know how they're going to, help you master AI for your dealership within 30 minutes. But, really somebody that's providing the use cases and the specifics and really diving deep into one specific use case of how you could use AI. So we have our chief product officer who, who better to talk to about AI, who better to ask questions, talking just how you can boost your sales with AI, which I think is the number one use case that, we talked about how hard 2024 was, how you can do more with less. And I think, really diving deep into the use cases and specifics with that. But then we also have some other great sessions with Ross Tinkham, who I know has been on this podcast, talking about how you can drive growth and build loyalty with AI. Really going to be some great things happening there as well. And then, I think Sean touched on it, the parties. So we're proud to be a big sponsor of the welcome party at NADA. I know it's NOLA Flair themed. I've already got my outfit picked out. I'm very, very excited. I think it'll be a wonderful time.
Let's go.
And then on Friday, we have a happy hour at Prohibition down on Bourbon Street that, again, will just continue the fun. It'll be a really great time. We'll have beads and really just be leaning into the NOLA flair. So I think it's going to be a really great time.
So let me ask some questions. So the NADA welcome party, where is that and when is that? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's at the Sugar Mill stage. You can find it on the NADA agenda, and it will be featuring Trombone Shorty, which I have been told will be very, very cool. So it'll be located right across the street from the convention center. Sounds like there's a free shuttle from the NADA official hotels. You should be getting lots of information directly from NADA themselves. And I think it'll be, obviously we're kicking off the night. The women will have already kicked everything off earlier that day. And so everybody will be ready to party. It'll be good.
And then tell us about the party that you are hosting at Podium. You said there's going to be beads. Isn't that going to be right on the Bourbon Street or right on one of the main streets?
Yep, it'll be right on Bourbon Street. I know there's clearly a lot of things going on that night, so it's open house, free to come whenever. There'll be open bar, food. It'll really be a great time.
Speaking my language.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so for me, NADA is the preeminent event. I talk about it in a simple way. It's like the Super Bowl for the automotive industry. So I want to just commend you and Podium because it's not easy. I don't care how much money you have to be a speaker. The speaking is done very, very selective with a whole board and a process that you have to audition for and get approved. So again, it has nothing to do with you guys having a big booth or a lot of money. The fact that you've been chosen for 3 different sessions is massive. We're a much smaller company, and we've got 2 speakers on 2 different sessions. So between our 2 companies, we've got 5 separate sessions, 3 different booths, 2 different VIP parties, and a ton of incredible amount of value to help dealers sell more cars more often and more profitably.
That sound like the 12 days of Christmas. What you say? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was fire.
Yeah, you caught that? You caught that, bro? You caught that? I was trying to be smooth.
That was smooth.
You like that?
I really like it.
Again, this is really exciting. To recap this, there's so much going on. And again, it's sensory overload. I want to prepare you. There's anywhere from 10 to 25,000 people that could be there. There's booths that I don't want to ask you because I don't think it's appropriate, but I know for a fact some of these vendors are spending millions of dollars for a booth, for a temporary 3-day construction. The VIP parties are next level. It is an incredible experience. But LA, if people aren't able to attend, don't we have something special that we're going to do with them?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. So listen, understand that. Whatever you do end up missing, because listen, even if you're there, you're not going to be able to attend everything. So we're going to take the liberty of doing a really thorough NADA recap. It's going to be right here on the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast next week. So you want to make sure you definitely don't miss that. We got some phenomenal things that's happening. But listen, here's the deal, y'all. I want to take a quick second. We're going to do a quick break. But I know folks have questions, whether they're NADA related, but there's some questions inside the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast. So if you have questions, that's exactly where you want to go. If you want to get your question live here on the air, be a part of the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group. Make sure you get approved and all that good stuff, right? Make sure you're the right person, right? Don't be trying to sneak up in there if you're not the right person, right? But we definitely want folks that are in the front lines in the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group asking us questions that we will answer here live on the air in just a moment on the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast, y'all. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Shane Bourne with Promax. When we're faced with any challenge, we work together to find the best solution. That attitude and commitment to excellence has helped us pioneer several innovative solutions into the automotive space, like our award-winning CRM and desking tool, which this year we are showcasing with AI-enhanced call tracking analytics. Also our Blackhawk digital marketing solutions. We pioneered soft pull into the automotive space, and we allow consumers to gain valuable insights early in the buying process, like their credit score, their trade value, and equity, all of which help a streamlined, frictionless buying process, which is important to both the consumer and the dealership. We look forward to showing you just how important it is to us to be more than a vendor, but to be a partner with you mutually striving to accomplish your goals.
For more information, contact MCC directly and let them know you heard about them on the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast.
This has been the most in-depth training I've had in my lot of years in the car business.
We went from 60 cars to 156 cars a month in 3 months.
NAMAD, the entire Toyota Chicago region, as well as the top automotive groups like Coons, Lithia, and Norm Reeves have all used Bradley On Demand to train their team.
They're the most comprehensive training company I've seen, and they by far have the best support system.
Doing 50 cars a month, topped out at 80. I can tell you that the Bradley On Demand training will get you to the next level.
And guess what? The world's #1 car salesman, Cody Carter, shares his exclusive strategies right here. You want his secrets? You gotta have Bradley On Demand. If you're still not enrolled in Bradley On Demand, you're missing out on the best virtual automotive training in the world. Enroll now or contact us for a free test drive of the platform today.
We're back, so let's get into some questions from the Millionaire Car Salesman group. But I have one real quick first before I go to the group. Misty, this is one from one of our listeners asked for you specifically. What they said was, we have VinSolutions CRM. How should AI work in sync with the CRM? And I think what he's trying to say is that, again, the CRM has a automated action plan known as a CRM process or a drip campaign, etc. You could program any CRM to have, daily, weekly, monthly automated email messages, automated text messages, automated video messages, etc. And I am assuming, because I've heard this from my own clients, if they have AI, sometimes they're redundant and they're doing, multiple activities. So this is a very important question. I really want to know this too. How do you suggest, or what is the strategy to align the CRM automation and technology with, let's say, Jerry or any AI, so they're not replicating tasks? Because that would be really frustrating if I'm trying to call somebody and the AI just did the same thing, or I'm wasting time. So there's got to be a way to calibrate so the AI is complementing and reverse, the CRM is complementing. So how do you do that? Can you answer that question for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest things, and this goes back to what we were kind of talking about, making sure you have the right questions for your vendors, is that there is an integration between that AI tool and your CRM. AI is only as good as the data that it is getting. And so if it's getting bad data in, it's sending out bad things out. And so one is making sure that that integration is there and that it is connected. Two, and something we're really excited about to be talking about more at NADA, is AI that's able to talk to that CRM and be able to do some of that sales and service revenue mining and be able to take some of that off of. So one, your team isn't having to reach out, having to do those things, but actually AI is like, oh, I know that this person bought a car 3 months ago. It's time for them to come get an oil change. I'm going to reach out and do that. And then finally is with that connection, and it's a big part of training your AI tool. So if that's not something you want your AI to be doing, it's setting up the right systems, it's setting up the right commands to be making sure that if that's something that someone on your team is going to be doing, Jerry or whoever your AI employee is knows that that's not something to reach out about. And so it's really that connection and that training that's a big part of it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for that breakdown. I'm going to share my screen. So for our listeners, I'm going to walk you through it because LA can't see it either, so don't worry.
Got you covered. That's the cool thing about having the blind.
Misty she just winced. It's all good. All right, so here we go. So we've got one from Brad Roberts. Tiana, can you read this question for us, please?
Brad asked, dealership leaders and industry pros, let's talk about the challenges we're facing in sales, support, and customer service today. The industry has changed so much in recent years. Consumer expectations are higher than ever. The dealerships are juggling more than ever before. From what I've seen and heard, we hear some of the biggest pain points. Number one, missing 40 to 50% of service calls during peak hours. So service calls during peak hours, leaving revenue on the table. Number two, struggling to follow up with leads during evenings or weekends when buyers are most active. which I think we can kind of just touch on that because there's actually a couple points. So what do you guys
Yeah.
have to say about those
Yeah.
first two? Because I think AI could fit.
Yeah, we definitely
Yo,
just
we
talked
didn't even
about
do this, guys. I swear to God, my audience, you guys know I keep it real. I am not, this is a real manager. This is a real dealer in the Millionaire Car Salesman group. This is not a plant. I mean, I almost feel guilty because this is like a layup podium. But like, again, missing 40-50% of service calls during peak hours, leaving revenue on the table. AI, struggling to follow up with leads during evenings or weekends when buyers are most active. AI, service advisors tied up with routine follow-up instead of focusing on customers in front of them. AI, limiting insights from phone interactions to guide marketing and training efforts. AI and dealer synergy. Okay, add to the growing demand for convenience like online purchasing options, and it's clear the game has changed. What are you seeing in your dealership? Are these specific areas where you feel your team is stretched too thin or where the opportunities are being missed? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Let's start a conversation and share ideas. We're all navigating this together. Drop your insights in the comments below. Two things. First, what I'm going to say is this. I honestly, you ever see, I don't know, was it Cat Williams or one of the comedians, Dave Chappelle's like, Robitussin, Chris Rock, Robitussin.
Right, Chris Rock.
My head hurts, Robitussin. My back is itchy, Robitussin. I got the gout, Robitussin. Any problem you have almost could be handled with AI. AI is a new Robitussin. I'm just saying. Now, with that being said, T, if you can actually go in the group and add some comments here, but Misty, without AI, because you're an industry leader, you're super smart, you got a great background in automotive and in production and marketing. You know, what are your thoughts? What do you think are some of the challenges that dealers face in 2025?
Yeah, well, I think, a big AI can answer most of these, but also just good technology can answer a lot of these, and technology that's talking to each other. So one of the problems that Brad listed is limited insights from phone interactions to guide marketing and training efforts. Some people might not know, Podium is also a phones company. And something that we really take pride in is that our phone system and the ability to have those conversations and those transcripts all be put into one single place so that the training team or the managers at the dealership can see directly, what phone conversations are happening and be able to have technology that elevates all of this. And then I think a big part of it is also making sure your process is tied to your technology as well. And so whether that's your training process, your onboarding process, whatever that may be, making sure that when you're buying new technology or upgrading your technology, that it is a part of your process as well, and that it is connected at all of these different points and systems so that your people, process, and tools are all working together, that ultimately can help, you gain insights, help things be more efficient, help your team feel better about all of the things that are going on because they know that they have the tools to help them. And so I think, that's a big part of it, is just spending the time. And by no means am I saying that that's buying more technology. I think often dealers may have too much technology, that it's important to consolidate and use all of the features of the technology that you're investing in and making sure that it's a part of the process and the people and tools that you're using within your dealership.
Well said. Tiana, I want to use something other than AI as we close out the show. Can you give us some other challenges that dealers have, whether it's on the salesperson level, a management level, F&I level, customer level, time level? What do you think are some of the challenges facing dealers above and beyond what Brad had said?
Honestly, I think just being able to connect with our customers better, right? I mean, we always talk about different automation for our CRM, but even, simple things as sending out anniversaries or really building that relationship, right? Because I think it's hard sometimes for our customers and salespeople to build relationships nowadays because there's so much the consumer is consuming. All these other social media platforms and all this static just videos being thrown at them, this automation of being able to, me as a salesperson, send out, not even having to think about it, birthday, anniversary, car anniversary, how about pet, happy pet day, all these different things for me to build a better relationship with my consumer and always be at their top of mind, because that's the number one goal in sales, right? Is just how can we always be in the top of mind in front of our customers, in front of our prospects, and I think, with AI, obviously, but with building a relationship with social media, right? Being in the group, being on the podcast, all these different things. So I think that's super hard now, just being able to build a connection, because we always talk about it, but nobody ever does it. But I think that's a challenge that, we have to overcome too.
Again, well said. LA?
You know what? One of the things that I'm going to say that I think is a lot of people think might be a little bit corny, but I also think it's under talked about, it's underused, is just plain old stress management, right? So many people like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed, I'm so overwhelmed and everything.
Do jiu-jitsu.
We don't have like that. Oh, that's huge that you said that, Sean, right? Jiu-jitsu. Well, listen, I told y'all I've been frustrated by these daggone publishers. Boy, I wanted to kick somebody in their teeth the other day, but that's another conversation, right? But again, it's handling stress. How do you handle that stuff when you've got a lot on your plate? How do you handle it when there are customers that are pressing on you, asking you for things, right? How are you able to handle that? A lot of times we aren't, provided the necessary tools in order to handle the levels of stress that it takes for us to be working with these multi-$1,000. I mean, you think about it, this is not little teeny tiny purchases. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Best Buy, right? This ain't somebody buying a $300, $400, $500 TV. This is $30, $40, $50 plus $1,000 transactions. This is folks' daggum annual income that they're laying on the line. I was listening to a conversation with a customer earlier today, and he said, I really want this car, but I just wanted to see how much it's going to set me back. What? Like, if he lucky I wasn't on that phone call because I would have really addressed the situation as far as being set back. Is it really being set back when you're getting exactly what it is that you want? See, again, we got to learn how to be able to communicate with customers, because when we do that, man, the stress goes away. I promise you, as the blindfold master, I don't deal with no stress. Matter of fact, when I'm on the phone, it's actually a relaxing moment for me, right? Because I love communicating with people, and I know that I always know the things to say to a person in order to make what they want to happen. So the time that I'm stressed is when I'm not on the phone, right? If I'm trying to get somebody else to say something that they ain't really ready and willing to say, right? But for the most part, again, I really think that's huge. And that's why I'm talking about emotional intelligence, because if we learn to up our emotional intelligence game, it will help us handle stress at the levels that we really need to. So hope that was helpful. So with that being said, y'all, listen, I hope we gave y'all a tremendous amount of value. Listen, we will see all of you at our booth 4008. We'll see you at the Podium booth 7500 and the other Podium booth. Like, I'm telling you, we're going to be all around. We're going to be on the floor. Come find us, right? You're going to see us with our orange ties and all of that good stuff. Misty, I know you said you got an outfit planned and all kind of stuff like that. How can folks find you? I guess they see you on the podcast. So y'all know what Misty look like, right? Have the conversations with us, and again, have a phenomenal NADA 2025, y'all. This is the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast, and I still remain to say, you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with, and you've just been spending time with our producer Griffin, even though you didn't know it. You've been spending time with Misty, with L.A. Williams, Sean V. Bradley, and the one and only T Got Your Keys, Tiana Mick. It's your turn. Go out there and be a millionaire car salesman. We'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. If you liked it, you're gonna love Bradley On Demand. Bradley On Demand is the most advanced virtual training, tracking, testing, and certification platform. What does that mean? It's an online university. And if you like this information here, we have hundreds and hundreds of advanced videos, step by step, on how to help you sell more cars more often and more profitably, so sign up now.